welcome to today's episode on Football Intel. My name is Victor and I'm here to talk about Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson, the English player that plays for Arsenal, is 22, known for playing from the right or playing from the left. But it's obvious that the right part of the forward is where he dominates better. So now the question is, should Reiss Nelson still be an Arsenal player, or should he go elsewhere? Well, it is no longer news that Arsenal has given him an additional 4 years to stay with the club. Mind you, at the tail end of the season, last season, it was more like, will Reiss Nelson stay with the club or go? And there was a buzz from AC Milan. AC Milan gave him an offer. One would think like, oh, come on, AC Milan looking for Reiss Nelson? That would be a big deal for the young lad to move. But no, he did not move. And it was just so glaring too that Arsenal, through its manager, wanted Reiss Nelson to be part of his team. But one would wonder, Reiss Nelson has been with the club as a lad, as a young boy. He rose from the ranks from under 18 down to the senior team. Mind you, in 2018, he made his Premier League debut. And who awarded him that Premier League debut? It was Unai Emery. And Unai saw so much potential in him, but unfortunately, this potential has not come to pass so far. But mind you, when he went on a loan at 1889 Hoffenheim in Germany, the coach then, the renowned Julian, came out to the press and said, you see this young lad, Reiss Nelson, that Nelson will be up there with Ronaldo, with Messi, if he can maintain his mentality and maintain his work rate. But unfortunately, 5 years after, he's not meeting up with the billing. Well, one might say life has happened to him from then till now. But who knows? Anything can still happen, especially now that Arsenal has given him 4 more years, has added 4 years of contract extension and has increased his wage bill to £60,000. One might be like, £60,000 is too small. But hey, come to think of it, this is a player that has not really shown his mettle. But yes, towards the third or the fourth half of last season, we saw him do a whole lot, especially in the game with Arsenal and Bournemouth. The game that Arsenal were 2 goals down and he was brought in at the 69th minute as a substitute. Lo and behold, he gave an assist to Ben White, who equalized and kept the score at 2-2. Then 7 minutes after stoppage time, Reiss Nelson dropped a banger. And boom! The whole pitch or the whole stadium went agog. And he was the match winner for that day. Arsenal, from 2 goals down, went up to 3 goals to 2, winning the day. And guess what? At the end of the season, that goal he scored was named the Arsenal goal for the season. So much good news for him. I hope this is a new page for him. But when you also check with the squad that we have, mind you, Arsenal are lacking in depth. They don't have those players that can be called up, especially what happened in the defense. But yes, in the midfield and even in the forward position, you find out that when Saka was down, when he lost form, there was nobody to replace him. But if you also go back to the list and you check the forwards that Arsenal have, you find out that the likes of Trossard is there, that can take his place. You now also ask, what about Marquinhos, the Brazilian? Already Martinelli, his position can. I don't see Reiss Nelson taking up that position. But at the end of the day, you ask the question: Is it would it be nice that Arsenal let him go, or get him as a free agent? Mind you, he was already a free agent because his contract expired last month. But no, the club felt that, see, there are still some potentials in this guy that might come to reality. But I want to take us a bit back to the player called Van Persie. Van Persie had issues just like Reiss Nelson. What issues am I talking about? Mostly with respect to injuries. Mind you, Van Persie came from Feyenoord to Arsenal. Although he had issues with his coach in Feyenoord, but he came to Arsenal, looked cool on and off the pitch, but injury dealt a big deal on him. I'm trying to make a point here. But then the Arsenal manager, Arsene Wenger, gave him his time. Watched him closely, gave him all opportunity, even with the countless injuries that came his way. Even the fans were tired. They were like, see, why would you keep this guy in this squad? Yes, once in a while he can come and he will score a powerful goal and everybody will go happy. But after like 5-10 games, nothing will come out from him. And at the end of the day, the fans they were bitter. That why will you be keeping this person in this squad and you are also paying him salary? Why don't you let him go and bring in somebody to replace him? But no, Arsene Wenger had so much faith in Van Persie. Maybe same thing will be what will happen with Reiss Nelson. But you know, football is a whole lot of gamble. These coaches make a whole lot of gamble, but at the end of the day, you now ask, what if he picks up and at the end of the day leaves the club? Just like what Van Persie did. Van Persie was even honored by the club, and he was made the captain of the club. In a season where he was so prolific that he scored 35 goals in a single season. But what then happened? He left the club and went straight to an opposing club, Manchester United for that matter. And what happened? When he scored a goal against Arsenal, he went straight to the Arsenal fans to celebrate the goal in front of Arsenal fans. And he was just so bitter. And at the same season, the season after he left the club, the next season after he left the club, he won the Premier League. So that was more like Arsenal allowed this guy to grow, groomed him, nurtured him, waited for his seasons of bad injuries and all that, and bad forms. And the moment that he picked the form of his life, till date, that was the form of his life, he booted the club, he left the club, and went to an opposition club. I hope this does not happen to Reiss Nelson, or in football, it might just be time out for you. But we just wish him well that in the next 4 years that Arsenal has given him this contract, let's see what happens next season. Yes, there might be competition from left and right, no two ways about that. But when given the privilege, or will I say the opportunity, mind you, Arsenal will be in many will be chasing so much titles and championship come next season. So Arsenal needs to fortify its bench. Will Reiss Nelson come up to the billing? That will be the question. But let's watch out and see what happens. This is me, Victor, handling this episode on Football Intel. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching and please subscribe. Thank you.